Hey, hello guys. So welcome to another video. And in this video, we are going to cover CoreDNS conceptual. So if you're preparing for CK, you will know that CoreDNS is an important part of CK. And for that reason, we are going to cover this topic. And so we will try to cover the basics of this topic and solve one question. So make sure that you watch the video till the end because I'll solve the question at the end. But right now we're just going to understand a little bit about CoreDNS, and I will just show you some components within CoreDNS. And once we are acquainted with those, we will actually solve a question. So let me just do one thing. First, I'll go here. Okay. So this is the concept. So first, let's understand. So in within core DNS, there will be like when you're what first of all, what is core DNS? So core DNS is the default DNS service for Kubernetes. So anytime you are like resolving a name server or something within the Kubernetes, then you are going to make use of core DNS. So let me show you. So these are the components which are there within core DNS. So in case your core DNS is not working or something, then there are few components within Kubernetes which you should go and make sure that they are up and running. So as I have mentioned here, so these are the components. So there is the CoreDNS deployment, which you will find in the kube-system namespace. Then there is the CoreDNS ConfigMap, which has the core file, which we are going to talk about more later. It is important. And then there is the CoreDNS service, which is is responsible for exposing the DNS. Then we have the kubelet and pod DNS. So these are the components. Then there is another part of CoreDNS, which is called as plugins. So this is present within the config map file. So we will be looking at this in when we are looking at the general infrastructure of CoreDNS. And then there are some CoreDNS concepts like it resolves service discovery and all these other concepts. And I will show you in general more in hands-on so that you get a better idea. So let me just first of all open that. Go to a playground for this one. So we will solve a question as well, but before that, I think if you want to understand CoreDNS, we need to first check the playground. So I would like to choose CK playground. So we'll choose a CK playground and we will just see how we can do it. I'm not sure if I have two tabs open, if I can open it. If not, then I will first solve the question, maybe something like that. Just give me a moment. So now we are going to check out this. So what we'll do is that so we are inside a CK playground where we are just having a Kubernetes cluster in Kilocoda, and now we're going to check all the components for core DNS. So first, what we'll do is first of all, whenever you're checking for any components related to core DNS, you have to understand that inside all the namespaces, everything related to core DNS will be set up within the kube system. Before even we actually go, I will want to show you all the services. So if I do like get deployment, deployment -n, and I put kube-system, so we will see that there is a deployment already present, core DNS and a CNI, something we can cover later on. But for now, we have a core DNS over here. And if I do like describe on this and describe deployment for DNS, and we have to give the namespace. So we'll give the namespace as kube-system. So we're going to understand what is there within this. So you will see that first of all, it is in the namespace. It has two replicas. Yeah. So this is the main deployment. This is the one component which you should keep in mind for core DNS. Then aside from that, if you do get pod -n kube-system, since there are two replicas, you will see that there will be two core DNS pods running, as you can see here. Of that you guys can see. So this is the two core DNS components which are present, and aside from that, there is one more which is more important. So that is get CM, or we can say config maps. configmap -n kube dash. So within the config map, which is where all the configurations related to Kubernetes are stored, you will see one component which is related to CoreDNS. So as you can see over here, this is the component which is related to CoreDNS. We will do a describe on this so that I can show you certain things. So describe TM. TM stands for config map CoreDNS -n kube system. So this is where okay. So whenever you understand CoreDNS, you will generally see that it is this you will come across this config map, specifically this file, which has all the configurations for this DNS. So as you can see, this is the core file for the CoreDNS, and in that, where you can add several plugins. So maybe if you are aware, you will see like some terms like Prometheus. So Prometheus is for a logging purpose. So in case you have these, all of that will be handled by Prometheus. These are some of the general plugins which are already set up within CoreDNS. Whenever you're setting up any, like within CoreDNS, there are some standardized plugins that are already you will find when you're creating a cluster. Aside from that, you can also add several plugins. So there are like, so you can see like there is one like over here, you will see of health, which is kind of like the health probe to for so it's like a plugin for the health probe, which is very similar to health probe. Then there is one for forwarding to cluster local. So these are like the whenever you look for the plugins within CoreDNS, so this is the file where you will come, and always keep this in mind that it will be in inside this kube system. And for forwarding, you can see that all the DNS will be forwarded to this file. So let's see what is this file now. So we'll look into this file. The file will also give us some idea what is going on. I will go here now. Just VI into this. So if you see over here, there is a name servers here, and there is a search option. So this, I believe, is the name server for Google's DNS. And I'm not sure which is this one, but I'm pretty sure it will be some very big name server. So DNS for resolving DNS in case we do not know the IP. And this is search. So in case you are making use of like small keywords, like for example, if you just did like nslookup. nslookup is for checking out like DNS. So in case you do a nslookup on a small keyword, and it's just a shortcut, then if you add more search terms over here, like for example .com or something, we can add like multiple over here. And then what the CoreDNS will do is that it will go and check that if it's a small nickname, it will go and append all these searches to it and verify if it's getting a response. And if it does not get any response, then it will give us an NX domain error or something. So this is what is the search. If I can go to the documentation of Kubernetes. Second. Documentation here. And we are looking for, let's see if we can find one. Sure, but maybe we will. Yeah, the core file. So we are looking for the I cannot find it here, but what we'll do is we will see. So this is the etc resolv.conf, right? We can just take this browser. Maybe I can get a sample one. Yeah, so if you can see over here, I've got a sample one over here. You can see that in the search, there is like two arguments. So one is like us.mydomain.com and mydomain.com. In case you do an NS lookup on maybe let's say like customer, So then, and it does not exist. Maybe it will go and then it will go here and search customer.mydomain.com, and it will try to see if that will retrieve us a response. And if that does not work, it will not give up. It will go and see what is the next one. And then it will see customer.mydomain.com of this. And it will check if that one is also giving us a response. And only if both of them are not giving a response, or whatever, how much ever you've added here, will it give an error. So in this case, you can also see the name servers. We do not have the, this is our local name server. So within the cluster. So in our case over here, you can see it is resolving to 8.8.8, right? This is for the Google one. So we can also put our local one. So that is why over here, I just showed you this file. This is one of the things which you should understand. I'm just trying to cover a little bit from the top so that you can be ready for the questions. So your understanding of CoreDNS would be like, it is mainly the DNS, the local DNS, everything related to DNS within the Kubernetes cluster. By default is handled by the CoreDNS. So I think we have seen the deployments, we have seen the ConfigMap file with the file, and we have also seen the resolv.conf. Okay, so this is like a general overview of CoreDNS, and now I will just solve like one question, which like found in KiloCoda, which is related to CoreDNS. Let's check that question out and let's see how we can solve it. Maybe that will give us even better idea. Okay, so now we are in the KiloCoda questions playground. We will just look for question related to CoreDNS. So one over here. Let's go and check it out and let's see if we can solve it. Let this one load. We will check out what is asked here. Okay, so first of all, let's set the context. We're setting up the context. Now they are saying create a deployment named dns-deploy-cka with two replicas in the dns-ns namespace using this image. So they have given us this image. Then we have to set the command to sleep with container named this. After that, we have to do an nslookup and we have to store. Okay, so we have to just do an nslookup, and I'll show you now. So now this is a good opportunity for me to show how the nslookup will behave to the Kubernetes default command. This is the default command for Kubernetes, and then when you're doing nslookup, and we will see what response it gives, and we will store it inside the dns output.txt. Okay, so whenever you're given with this kind of question, first thing you should do is open the Kubernetes documentation, make sure. And over here, they are saying to, first of all, create a deployment. In case you could create it on your own as well, but imperatively, but for now, let's follow this procedure. And so let's pick up the first one and we will go here. First of all, they're saying that we have to deploy it within dns-ns. If I do k-get-ns, we will see if that exists. So we can see that that does not exist. So what I'll do is k-create ns dns-ns. Okay. So now if I do k-get-ns, that is k-get namespace basically, kubectl get namespace, you can see the dns-ns is present. So we've created the namespace. This is just one part of the process. Now we have to create a deployment vi using vi editor into deployment.yaml, and I will press I for insert, and then I will paste the entire I didn't copy it properly. I'll paste the entire YAML, which I found by searching for deployment in Kubernetes documentation. Now I'll go here and paste this. Okay, so now I pasted this, and now we have to see, first of all, what they're saying, create a deployment named dns-deploy-cka. So I have pressed I for insert, and I will go here. I will remove this. I will paste this. Fine. Now they're saying that the namespace has to be mentioned. In case you're mentioning the namespace, which I believe is within our metadata itself, I will put namespace column. In case you do not remember kind of things, what you could do is always you can go and type namespace, or even better, you can go within this and just search for namespace. Here there is already an example. There is no specifically. So maybe over here I'll find. You can check how the namespace. But I believe that this is right. So we have to name it like this, and we're going to specify that it has to be with our dns-ns that we will do. Now the number of replicas they're saying has to be 2. So we'll go here down to our replicas. We'll paste it here. It is 2. Now selector is present. We are adding app engine. That's fine. Now finally we're going to come to the main part where is the containers. So our container name is dns-container. So we will go here and we will and our image is this one. Create that as well. Done now. Now if you want to remove these lines, right, you have to just press escape because we don't need ports. So escape and then double D and remove these lines. And now I'll again press insert. Now we are here and we have to add now command. So for command, always remember that you have to put square braces. Inside square braces, I'll do slash in then we have to put arguments. What's our args over here now? Arguments, again we have to do the same thing, but this time I will put -c for command, and then command is sleep for 3600 seconds. Yeah, this is the way you will add. So if you look now carefully, our requirement is that our deploy name should be dns-deploy-cka. Our namespace should be dns-ns. Our image should be, so our image is over here. You can see. Then the command should be to sleep. That this step you have to create. Yes, that's it. Everything is in place. Escape :wq, and yep. Now if I do k apply -f deployment.yaml, it is created. Now once it is created, we have to first of all, if I do a k get pod, let's see what we see. We don't see any resources. Why? Because we have created it in the specific namespace. If I do k get pod, PO is a shortcut for pod, and then I do dns-ns, you would see that, okay, our deployment is running and deployment pods are running. Two pods are running because 2 replicas. And if I do the same for k get deployment -n dns-ns, we can see that clearly the deployment is running. Okay, now what the next is, once we have set up this DNS utils, then now we have to do nslookup of this. What we will do is, for now, we'll just run this command to see what it will give us. So when we do an nslookup, it really gives us the resolv.conf, and you can see that it is giving us the Google DNS. Okay, so now just one moment. Yeah, so we have got this one, and now what we have to do is, they are saying that you have to, once the pods are up and running, run this one, and from any one of the pods, save the output into this file. This is what we have to do. We have to get this command, and if you want to output anything into the file, all you have to do is you have to give this arrow greater than sign, and then after that, what you have to do is you have to write the name of the file, dns-output.txt. We are going to put it into this file. If I do an ls, you will see that file is present. If I do vi into it, we are going to be able to see what is present within it. And you can see that whatever output we were getting is stored over here. Everything that is mentioned over here has been done properly. So now finally, since everything is done, we'll press check. And there seems to be one issue. So let me just give a look. So there seems to be a small issue, and I believe that this issue might be probably because we have added labels over here, which is not mentioned. So we will remove that. Remove these labels. It's not needed, first of all. We'll save this file. Now what we can do is whenever we have such issue, we can do first of all get deployment and -n DNS-ns. So now I will do delete deployment. So if you want to, whenever you want to delete a deployment, you can just delete deployment. Copy this. This get deployment and delete. Okay, and then at the end over here we have to put DNS -n. So our deployment is deleted. Now since our deployment is deleted, so I'll do apply -f changed one. So do get deployment -n DNS-ns, all up and running. And now we will do the validation, verify. Yeah. So guys, so that was just the issue. So just make sure that you follow along exactly as it's mentioned in the question. And I will be making one more video where I'll get into more deep diving of the core DNS concept along with some more questions. So make sure that you are watching part 2 as well. This is just the end of part 1 and we will see part 2 in the next video.